Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk About. And in this episode we're talking about SCP-1007, otherwise known as Mr. Life and Mr. Death. This is a continuation of the Little Misters series. There's a whole bunch of them already on here. Mr. Hungry, Mr. Lost, Mr. Fish. I think that's it. That's my definition of a whole bunch, more than one, because I'm a very inconsistent man. So, object class is safe, meaning it's relatively easy to contain and or poses little to no threat. There is no picture for this one. I'm sure if you were to look something up, you'd find it. If I find something, I'll put it right here. This is another Little Mister, so it's part of that list that we keep going back to. The Dr. Wondertainment, like, Little Misters. Though this one's name suggests that there's two of them, and I don't know if that's correct. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I have no idea. Before the video starts, I just want to say thank you all so much for the recent channel growth. It really means a lot to see the channel grow to something I know it can be. Leave a like and subscribe if you would like more, and without further ado, let us begin. The special containment procedures are a singular paragraph, not even a big one, probably why it's safe. And it reads, when inactive, SCP-1007 is to be kept in a standard coffin along with SCP-1007-1. The subject may only be activated during routine testing. As of current regulations on Misters, SCP-1007 is to be contained in Hall 8 of Site-13. So, there's two of them. As the title suggests, it's Mr. Life and Mr. Death, but they come in the same thing. It's like a twin kind of package deal. And they're both in a coffin. Charming. I don't know what Mr. Life and Mr. Death did. Let's do some predicting. I would predict, if I had to wager a guess as to what this SCP did, really use that thinking noodle you have up there, it would probably be a group of people that can bring life or kill. Two people, right? I see two possibilities. Either A, both of them do a specific thing, one has the touch of death, the other has the touch of life, which would be awesome, or alternatively, I don't have an alternatively, that's about it. I don't have an alternatively. I really thought about it, I don't have one. As to what these two people are, SCP-1007 appears to be a male of indeterminate ethnicity who undergoes the entire human life cycle within a 75-minute time frame. The subject ages at the rate of approximately 1 year per minute. Once 75 minutes have elapsed, the subject will invariably expire of spontaneous cessation of metabolic activity with no evident cause. It reports feeling excruciating pain during the first 16 minutes when its bones and muscles are changing shape very rapidly. This process violates the first law of thermodynamics, as the subject does not seem to require any energy input to fuel the massive amount of cellular growth. It's a god. No, it's not. This person, it's a person. This person goes through the entire life cycle in 75 minutes, 1 year per minute. So, 75. He starts as a newborn. That's horrifying. That's not really that bad, actually. If you really think about it, it's not that bad. Probably be terrifying to witness? I don't really think so. In my mind, this should be impossible. As it said, the first law of thermodynamics. I could not tell you what the first law of thermodynamics is. What I can tell you is that he doesn't require energy for the growth. His cells just grow spontaneously, and then once the 75-minute period is done, his entire metabolic system just kills him. Just dead. Done. That's it. No more. And then you activate him again. Activated. Activated. The word activated was used. So, something you can actively turn on, otherwise it's just a corpse? That's interesting. I might be wrong on that, but it was saying in the containment procedures that it can only be activated. It's not someone who just constantly goes through it. No, it's someone who you have to activate the process. Which, wow. Alright then. I could be wrong on that. If you want to go to this article, go to the SP Wiki, and then go to SCP-1007, and it'll take you right to them. I should probably mention that this is also not real. I realized that while I was editing the last one. I should probably mention that these are not real. Because, good lord. Because the last one I recorded. The last one I recorded was the portrait. Because of that, it mentioned a painter that's a real painter. I didn't know that until I looked it up while I was editing. It's a real painter, but that painting isn't real, which is why I need to specify these are not real. None of this is real. But the fact that this guy, this man, just goes through the life cycle over 75 minutes, kind of not a good idea. Not a good idea. Not like he can control it. It's not a good idea to activate him. That just sounds like torture. There we go. It mentioned in the Containment Procedures SCP-1007-1. As to what that is, it is a key that fits into a small metal keyhole inserted into the subject's back, in between its shoulder blades. X-ray scans have shown that the keyhole is an empty socket with no internal mechanism. When SCP-1007-1 is turned, the subject's physical age is reversed by 1 year for each turn until it has regressed to the form of a neonate. It is not known where the mass that is removed from the subject's body, as it shrinks, disappears to. If this is done after the subject's 75-minute lifespan has elapsed, the subject will reactivate. The subject has been dead for long enough to have decayed. Any decay, regardless of its extent, will also be reversed. So it's a wind feature. This guy is like a music box. That's maybe not the best. It's like a wind-up toy. You know, you wind it up, it walks around the room. He's like that, but opposite. You activate him by some method. You activate him. Don't know how, but you activate. That's about it. Once he's activated, it just goes by minute. It forms into a person. You put this key into his back. You put a key into his back. And I'll say it again. Key, back. Keyhole. Does nothing. This keyhole, when you turn it, how many times you turn it regresses his age back. Meaning you could theoretically keep him alive, but you gotta like be sure not to go too far, and it could keep him longer than 75 minutes, which is really interesting. Moreover, if you do it after the 75-minute time span, he just reanimates with no decay, and that's kind of concerning. But I don't really know what that would imply. Is it like a matter of just like, does he have memory of it? Do his memories stay every activation? I would imagine so, but I could be wrong. But my main question is, if you twist the key, his memories stay after he's dead? Question mark? I don't really know. Continuing on, SCP-1007 was recovered by Task Force Tau-6, along with SCP-Redacted, SCP-Redacted, and SCP-Redacted, during a raid on the California mansion of Redacted, a known customer of Marshall Carter and Dark Ltd. Redacted admitted that he had obtained SCP-1007 from an MCD-sponsored auction, and claimed that at the auction in question there had been at least 4 other misters for sale, though he did not recall to whom they had been sold. That group, Marshall, Carter, and Dark, that is an auction thing from SCP-982, the Chicago Loop. If you go back to that video, it mentions that it was from an auction of these people, meaning I completely unintentionally did that, by the way. But it was recovered with a bunch of other SCPs, all redacted. I can't really see what they are. And California Mansion of Redacted, more Redacted. He obtained it from that auction place, Marshall, Carter, and Dark, meaning that's a stagnant point in the SCP world. Though those people are like SCP smugglers and sellers, which is, I would imagine, a crime. But he said there were 4 other Little Misters, meaning somehow or some way, Little Misters were brought to this auction and sold off to different people. These Little Misters are a collector's item. There's only one of them. Out of the other ones, there was Mr. Moon, Fish, Lost, and Hungary. I think those are the 4 we did. There might be more. I don't know. There are 2 addendums at the bottom of the article. The first one reads, the words Mr. Life and Mr. Death from Little Misters by Dr. Wondertainment are tattooed on SCP-1007's right calf. This designation appears as 11 in document SCP-909-A, which is the list of all the Little Misters. So it's just the text on his right calf. Not really that exciting. The second addendum reads, The fact that its designation seemingly refers to a pair has been taken by some to mean that SCP-1007 has a counterpart that is yet to be recovered. SCP-1007 has stated that it is unaware of the existence of such a counterpart, and believes that its designation refers to the fact that it alternates between life and death. However, given that it is also unaware of the existence of several other Misters known to the Foundation, the existence of this hypothetical counterpart remain a possibility, and efforts are currently being made to determine its whereabouts. That's why it's called Mr. Life and Mr. Death. So this one is Mr. Life. This person is Mr. Life, and the Foundation speculates that there is a secondary counterpart to Mr. Life that would go by Mr. Death, which I would imagine would be the reverse, and I don't like that image whatsoever. I don't like the image of the first one, let alone the second one, but that is the whole article, and this one kind of... it sits weird with me. It's safe, clearly. He doesn't even have a drive to escape. He's just kind of confused. No, he's not confused. He's dead. He's dead most of the time. He has 75 minutes to live every single time he's activated and wound up like a toy. Can only imagine. Does it hurt him when the key is in? What about, like, this Mr. Death? If he existed, I feel like someone would know. But how would you have known? It's just a body. At that point, how would you have known? I don't understand. It doesn't click with me, but it doesn't really matter. It's in containment. You know, he believes that there might be a counterpart, but he doesn't know, and is kind of unsure solely because he has no prior knowledge of other little misters. Technically his brothers and sister. There's one little Mrs., but it's still called a little mister. I should do that one. You know, object class is safe, and that makes total sense after reading it all. But the physical age, 75 time span, you can wind him back. It's kind of weird. But how it does it? He said it hurts. Excruciating pain in the first 16 minutes because all his bones are changing rapidly because you're going through the first 16 years of your life. You know, growth spurge, bones change, all that stuff in like 16 minutes. Just excruciating pain. And after that, pretty much fine. Pretty much. And then he dies. His metabolic system just kills him, which is kind of funny. He doesn't die in some spectacular way. He doesn't just keel over. No, his metabolic system just cuts out, and that's it. With that being said, kind of very interesting. I kind of like the idea of this 75-minute thing. It's really unique, but I'm going to leave this episode here. Thank you all so much for watching. If you liked the video, please leave a like and subscribe, as that helps boost the channel. If you have any other SCPs you'd like me to go over, leave a comment, and I'll be sure to do my best to get to them. And yeah, thank you all so much, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!